I am gaming. I am gaming. I am gaming podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for being on the latest episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. This is a podcast about the video game industry, entrepreneurship, gaming nostalgia, many more things I find to be in the same realm of business and creative ventures. Like always, first and foremost, a big thanks goes to my Patreon supporters who really make this podcast possible. Without your donations and your support, I wouldn't be able to make I'm Gaming Podcast, and with it, I can. So a big thanks goes to all of you, and please everyone else, check out my Patreon supporters in the description below and all of their amazing, cool, really interesting and fun ventures like YouTube channels, Twitch streams, games, crypto projects, and so much more. This is episode 144, and in it I'm talking about a great chance I recently got in my hometown, the beautiful Novi Sad in Republic of Serbia, to kind of take part or to enter my experience, knowledge, and ideas into a panel discussion on pixel art that took part inside of the event called the Kaleidoscope of Culture 2022, which is in itself a part of the wider project of Novi Sad being the capital of European culture capital for 2022. I had an amazing time. It took place in the creative district of Novi Sad, a refurbished part of the old industrial center next to the Danube, where there's now loads of spaces for lectures, panels, exhibitions, art shows, and so much more. And the atmosphere was fantastic, the audience was fantastic, there was a lot of people listening to the pixel art panel, and the panelists themselves were amazing. I mean, other panelists and the moderator, I had a really great time, and we talked about a lot of interesting topics related to pixel art, from its basic beginnings as a style that was defined by necessity back when pixel art was just art, all the way to today's situation where you have a lot of indie companies trying to figure out a way to benefit from pixel art, both in terms of production values and the nostalgic or recognizable style that pixel art provides. All of that was really interesting and really fun, but the best part, of course, was, aside from listening to other panelists who have a lot of hands-on experience in pixel art, was to hear the questions of the audience and the ideas that many people who came by to listen to us had, including some brand new, really young indie dev teams who are making games, and I'm looking forward to seeing their results because I see a lot of will to make it happen, and when there's that, games or any kind of product or results are bound to follow. So a huge thanks to everyone who organized and created the Kaleidoscope of Culture 2022. The same goes for European Capital of Culture, Novi Sad, the wider organization. It's a really cool initiative. It's a really good initiative. Novi Sad is gaining speed and gaining steam as a hub of gaming and game development industries. I'm really proud to be a part of it, to be able to work for companies and teams in Novi Sad, and for the ability to kind of help the growth of the same community, which is in my view essential for any future success. And events like this one, like the Kaleidoscope of Culture and its gaming section, many other panels, it wasn't only pixel art, there were several of these taking part over 4 days. All of them are essential for the build-up and creation of the same community, which has been ongoing in Novi Sad for more than a decade and will continue to happen hopefully in the decades to come as well. So once more, big thanks to everyone who came by, to other panelists, to the moderators and organizers of the pixel art panel and Kaleidoscope of Culture and European Capital of Culture of Novi Sad. If you happen to be close by, please check out the Creative District and many other events and exhibitions and other happenings, cultural basically happenings, that are taking place in my beautiful hometown of Novi Sad. That's all for this episode. This was episode 144. I had a blast making it, I had a blast taking part on the panel. Hopefully you did have a blast, sort of, listening to this podcast. If you did, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, leaving a comment if you have any questions or want to say anything basically. And of course, don't forget to consider supporting me on Patreon. A buck or two from you per month would be more than amazing, more than enough. And if you can spare it, especially in this weird year of many kind of issues related to finance and everything else, that would be amazing. If not, that's cool as well. Thank you again for listening and being here. That's all for me. Once more, have a great week, and I'll see you in precisely 7 days from now on episode 145 of I'm Gaming Podcast. Until then, goodbye and have a great week.